This week I wore the unbelievable, the daddy, the Platinum Daytona for a week. Here are my honest thoughts on this watch, the good and the bad. So I think let's delve into explaining the model to you guys. This is of course the Platinum Daytona. So the reference for this watch is the 116506. This is the discontinued Platinum Daytona. It has the 40mm case. It's got the two chronograph pushers on the side. It's cast in full platinum, including the oyster bracelet and also the double folding safety clasp. It has the unbelievable ice blue dial, which is reserved for the platinum models from Rolex, including the day date. So if you ever see this watch out there in the flesh with an ice blue dial and it looks like a steel Daytona, let me tell you, it is not. It is a platinum model. So the first point to mention is the weight. This watch is so heavy. I cannot reiterate how heavy this watch is. If you guys have never had the opportunity to actually try it on, see it, or even hold it, it is a very, very dense weight. And when I knew I was going to be wearing it for a week for the channel, I was like, how is this actually going to be on my wrist? I'm used to wearing the Oyster Flex. I've done the Pepsi review. I've also done the Blueberry review. For you guys not seen it, check it out on the channel. But this is a very, very heavy watch. And let's jump into how it felt. So the first point I'd like to mention, as soon as I put it on my wrist, the presence, this watch on my wrist, how it made me feel. It did feel like a prestigious model, also down to the weight as well, but it had that presence. It's just something special about this watch. It is different to all the other Daytonas in the lineup, including the John Mayer, including my Oyster Flex, the steel Daytonas, the steel and golds, you know, even some of the gem set pieces. This has a certain look and feel, and it is only relative to the Platona, the Platinum Daytona. And for me, as soon as I put it on, I knew it was a very, very special watch. So for you guys that know, obviously I wear the yellow gold Pikachu. This watch here, I don't know if you can see it on the camera, it has an unbelievable sheen to it. Different to a steel Daytona, which I'll show you in 2 seconds. Different to a white gold watch, which can look a little bit darker. So they used to do the blue dial, white gold, full bracelet Daytona. This has a different look completely. You can see that it has this beautiful light color and a luster to the platinum that is only reserved for platinum models. So I'll grab you at the steel Daytona here, and I'll show you it side by side. So this is the new reference, the 1-2 reference there, and hopefully you guys can see there the difference in the shade and tone to the watch. And it is something that for me was so appealing because I've worn, owned and sold, you know, hundreds of the steel Daytonas. We don't see that many of these. So as soon as I put it on the wrist and I looked at the bracelet, I looked at the case, you can even see on the shoulders, look at that sheen, look at that shine. It is a very, very special watch. The other thing that I liked when I was wearing it was the dial. As you guys know, I'm a dial guy. We all wear watches. Most of the time you spend looking at the dial. I think it's a very important feature on every watch. And this having that ice blue, I absolutely love. There's nothing in any of my lineup here, in the safe, in the back office, that has this color dial. And I absolutely love the ice blue. And anybody that sees this watch in the flesh, and when I wore it out at the weekend and the sun actually came out in the UK and hit it, it just popped. It is so beautiful and extremely, extremely special dial. So let's talk about the comfort. The question on all your lips is, was it actually comfortable? When I first put it on, the weight was heavy. It took me literally a few hours to be able to get used to the feeling of that weight on there. But after a while, it was surprisingly comfortable. And I put this down to the way the case is actually made and manufactured. If you look at the side of this watch here, the same in all Daytonas, you have a crown guard either side of the crown, and you have the pushers. Almost gives the impression that it's all as one case, unlike the Submariner, for example, which I wore, which was the Blueberry. I'm going to show you an example here. So you can see here the side of the case there. The case is much more squared and it goes out there to the crown guards, hits the crown, and then back down under there. When you're wearing a watch that is heavy, so aka the blueberry, and that's actually this way on your wrist, it actually digs into your hand. And I was nervous of the fact that this particular one here would actually do the same. And due to the design of the case, due to the pushers, the crown guards and the crown, I can honestly say it did not bother me one little bit. And that is testament to the Daytona design. So one thing I must point out is I actually had the opportunity to go out for some drinks on the evening, at the weekend, and I didn't wear this watch. Not that I didn't want to wear it, but it wasn't going out for a meal, it wasn't going out to like some sort of social event for a couple of hours, actually going out. I was going out drinking. And for me, I just didn't want to wear it. I wore my Pikachu. I just didn't feel comfortable, you know, which is quite surprising for me because obviously I've owned and worn a lot of expensive watches in the years. And I just don't know. So I can't honestly give you my opinion what it's like to wear it out, i.e., you know, on an evening out. You know, I would have liked to give you that information, but for me, you know, you're having a few drinks, you're getting quite relaxed, and I just wasn't sure there was the right time and place to wear it. There is, of course, a time and place to wear this watch. You know, for you guys like that, I know some of the guys, super rich, wealthy guys that will actually daily this. Not a problem, but for me personally, I was just a little bit reserved, and I wasn't sure how it would be, and especially going out, knowing you're gonna have a few drinks, it was something that I just didn't feel comfortable wearing on the night. That leads me on nicely to what I didn't like about this particular watch. And it was as soon as I put it on, I felt it looked small, which is crazy for me to say. You know, this particular watch is 40 millimeters, my watch is 40 millimeters. For whatever reason, it doesn't look too small and it doesn't wear small. As soon as I put this on, I thought, oh, that actually wears a little bit small. I'm not sure I'm gonna be able to live with that. And the only thing I can put down is obviously the oyster bracelet, and because I'm not used to wearing one, but I can tell you some good news. Shortly after, a few hours after wearing it, I looked at it, my eyes had come round to the fact that obviously it's on my wrist, and it actually never looked small for the whole time I was wearing it. So I'm delighted to say that what was a negative is now a positive. So the big question on all your lips is, would I actually add it to my collection? The answer, of course, absolutely 1,000,000%. But for me, I've got to be true to myself, and I would have to have the discontinued diamond baguette dial, because that is the one that pleases me the most. It has no sub-dial coloured, it's all ice blue, beautiful baguettes around it, and for me, that would be the one that I would add to my collection. Hope you enjoyed this video. YouTube thinks you should watch this video next.